Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Happy Thursday.
It is. And it's our Friday tonight. Yeah.
And
I'm
it's
so
also
excited for that.
NFL Draft Day.
I was like, oh, hey, why are you wearing the Lions? But that's why.
Really?
Yes.
And for all our Canadian folk, it's a national pastime here in America.
Oh, brother. Here you go. I'm Colleen.
I'm Jonny.
And we're the Kill Quest.
We're the cool kids.
We are.
We're cool in the gang.
Yes. I love that. And you're watching Backcountry Couples. And we are excited.
2023 episode. No, not episode. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
we are.
episode 19.
We're episode 19.
I know, it's so exciting.
Season
2. I know, it's really, really exciting.
2.0.
I hope everybody had a great week. We had a pretty quiet week.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I mean, work-wise, you know what I mean? But, kind of adventure-wise, we were pretty quiet.
Yeah, 30 hours in 2 days. Over 30 hours in 2 days.
You were really busy. But today... we were getting ready our camper because we're heading down to Indiana.
Why are you talking
because
so
I'm excited. And John just said, I know. And when John just said it's going to be a slog fest.
I got my muck boots packed.
We just checked the weather and it's going to be a little soggy, which is fine. We are prepared. We are ready.
Hey, we have Mickwicks.
But we do. Oh yeah, we have. We're gonna perform there for sure. But I'm gonna tell you something. This is our first outdoor adventure trip, excluding our trips down south, of the year. This is the first one. I can't even handle it.
Terrible.
It's really wild.
Sad.
Yes, it is. A few months ago, we had an opportunity and we sat down with Tim and Pamela, right? From Super Good Camping.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Canadian folk across the way, you know?
Yeah. And we had such a great chit chat with them. And it's going to hit the airwaves. So it is on Monday, May 1st. And it is going to be on all the podcast stuff. So it's the Spotify and the Apple and all that fun kind of stuff.
Podcast.
It's also on YouTube. So John's gonna
way.
So John's gonna put the
I got the
put that link in the chat.
Super Good Camping YouTube channel.
It's really
Check
great.
Them out. Pick them up, show them some love.
Yeah, for sure. And it was such a fun time. You can do that for sure. And I just want to say that it went really, really fast. So unlike us, how we kind of control our timing, they are on. Oh yeah, it was good. They're on a Zoom timeline. So when
I got cut off.
Yes, we had so much more to chat about.
I was going.
And that was it. So I feel there might be a revisit if they have us back on. I don't know, but I feel like
I don't know.
We might have more to chat about with them. Anyway, so that's Monday. That gets launched on your airwaves everywhere as well as YouTube. So make sure you check Tim and Pamela.
Cheerleaders.
Super Good Camping. We're the cheerleaders. We're your Michigander cheerleaders.
Number one
That's
Michigan
right.
Cheerleaders.
Number one Michigan cheerleaders.
Are we the
only Michigan cheerleaders?
Just saying.
I love it.
All right.
So like we said, it is, like we said, Backcountry Couples.
Quite with your clap.
Is a...
Bust my ear.
Oh, geez, honey. So what is a Backcountry Couple? It's us.
Kind of like us.
Yeah, right. I'm excited for that. Like John said, it's season 2. We actually have one more show. This is our second last show of the season, which means we're going to be looking for season 3. Fun, right?
Yeah.
So
we got a little bit of a lag.
We have a bit of a lag.
Yeah. Apologize for that.
That's okay. If you are a backcountry couple, if you know a backcountry couple, or a backcountry bro, hey.
Or a backcountry business partner.
That's right. That is a cool one.
Oops, wrong one. There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Send them to our email address.
Do it.
Or have them hit us up on Instagram message.
Yeah, you can.
That'll work just
fine. For sure. No problem. So, and we are looking for suggestions. So I'm excited for that. And that's going to start in October of this year. And then that means that we have the summer for our outdoor adventure. So fun. But last week, watch the rewind. Fishing. Paddleheads.
Oh yeah.
Ben, Adam. Oh my gosh, we had such a great time.
Those guys
Backcountry bros.
Those guys were fun.
And then I didn't know this, but does everybody know about the banana thing and fishing? So like that is crazy. Apparently you can't eat a banana, bring a banana, have banana bread or whatever
anything
that is.
Anything that consists of banana.
And you're not catching
banana
a thing.
shake, anything.
Yes.
You're not catching nothing.
Yes. So I had to look that up, and that apparently is like.
What if you wear a banana hammock?
Oh my God!
That just went
PG.
All right. On that note, we
Right
always
on.
like to thank our
My
sponsor of the
God, that's a transition and a half.
show, Mick Fire Starters. Yes. So all of let's get it out of the way. All of our guests on the show get a complimentary Mick
They too.
Backcountry Couples
It's a little
pack.
thank you from
Little
us
thank you
and
gift.
Mick. Yeah, so we're excited to share that.
So if you go to mickwickfires.com, check out their swag, fire starters, their lightly smoked, apple smoked coffee beans.
It is.
Delish.
Yeah.
It's like I always say, it's having that sip of coffee in front of a campfire. That's what it tastes like and smells like.
Right on. And Mick is still, honey, yeah, you can put that up there, but Mick actually is still doing a complimentary 3-ounce pack of the smoked coffee with every purchase.
Right.
Which you can
save. That's this size here.
Yeah, and you can save
the
that
bigger
15%.
bag is, I believe, weight.
So. It is. It's a 6-ouncer.
Yes, use the code KeelQuest right there. 15% off your entire order.
Do it.
Swag, fire starters, or coffee.
Love it.
That's 3,
right?
not 4.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect.
All right.
And another thing.
What?
If you have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If
you got a question.
Because you are going to have questions for our couple tonight for sure. Put the word question in caps before you ask. It just helps John kind of identify it on the side there, and then he kind of
makes it easy to see.
Yeah, so excited for that. The other is, once again, we are streaming also on our Facebook page. So if you are watching on Facebook, you're watching it. So hey, exactly. Thank you. If you're watching on Facebook, you can see it. And there's only a chat that kind of goes on with Facebook. And unfortunately, it's hard you don't interact with the chat that's on here. So you've got some choices.
They don't play together.
They don't. So we're kind of figuring that as a bit of a learning curve.
I can chat on
right
on
on. Right on.
All right.
And
and on that
let's
note,
see who's here.
A quick chat rundown. So we got Mr. Watson, the mangy moose.
He's a secret spy, I think.
We got the super good camping
kids.
We do.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, Tangent Trails.
Hi, hashtag.
And who else we got? Oh, Adventure Anywhere.
Hi,
hello,
Mike.
fellow
lunch
campers. Lunch break. SB Raven.
James, lunch break.
I'm going to have to put muffles on.
Why? I'm too good.
Mike with
Mike is here.
Mike with Mike's here.
Hi, Mike.
My mom's in the house. Mom. And that's it.
That's all right. Awesome. And our guests are here. So excited for that.
That's most important.
All right. And it's just very nice because I feel nice and relaxed about tonight's show. This is so great. And we
are usually.
I know. And you know what? And we just need to get started. Let's do this. I think we need a little more timely today. Are you ready?
Waiting.
Okay. So again, I got an awesome intro. All right. Our backcountry couple this week have a combined 3 decades of experience with backcountry camping, backpacking, canoeing, and kayaking. Vince is a DIY gear enthusiast, seasoned outdoorsman, and navigator. Stacie is an outdoor writer, a naturalist, and a certified leave no trace trainer. I love that. As 2 middle-aged people with average fitness levels and more time than money, join the club. They model an active lifestyle of adventure, but they also have a bit of a motto, and it is get outdoors and change your perspective. I love that.
I like that.
So welcome from 2 weeks in a hammock, Vince and Stacie.
Hi. So great to be here.
You made that so easy. You guys
are
so welcome.
Yay! Thank you so much for having us.
Oh my gosh, we totally appreciate y'all coming on. We've been looking forward to it.
I know, our pleasure for sure. We always love to say, how we got to, meet our people or how we got introduced to each other. And we were both at the Quiet Adventure Symposium.
Yeah.
Quiet Adventure Symposium. I love that event. That's how I got my start outdoor adventuring. Even it was the year before I met Vince, and I bought my first kayak there, and was so excited to see the presentations. It's just like it was a dream come true to be a presenter.
I mean, we're going every year now.
Oh my God, we were so excited. And I mean, you guys came to our chat, and then you were like, exchange information. That was like so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't get a chance to see you guys, unfortunately. So we didn't have that opportunity, to kind of hang out, but we exchanged info and, kind of here we are today.
Here we are.
And here we are. Yeah.
I know, for sure.
And we're practically neighbors.
Yes.
I know, we're so close. I can't wait. I'm so excited for that. How did you two meet?
Well, true story. I found her on a wilderness island.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you got me hooked. I'm digging it.
I was volunteering for the National Park Service on North Manitou Island. And so was Stacie, and that's how we met.
So we met volunteering with Preserve Historic Sleeping Bear on a historic preservation project on North Manitou Island. And so we hit it off and struck up a friendship after that and got engaged the next year on North Manitou Island as well.
That's nice.
I may or may not have goosebumps, just saying.
Yeah, that's our favorite camping spot and our special place.
That is
we have
outstanding.
yet to get on that
is
island.
on the
Oh
list.
gosh, yes, you must.
Yeah, well, for anybody on this presentation who has not been to North Manitou, on our YouTube channel, we have a presentation on planning a visit for North Manitou. So check that out. We've got all the details of how to do it and where to go.
We're excited to share that for sure.
Absolutely.
So, and you said you guys had 30 years combined outdoor experience. So what, were you both outdoorsy growing up?
I was.
We're just old now.
Yeah, right.
So it just racks up.
Yeah, when we grew up, there was no indoors. I mean,
yeah,
that's true.
We were children in the 70s.
Yeah, there's no internet or.
Everybody was outdoorsy, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I was actually kind of your math and science nerd in school. I didn't really get out a whole lot, to like camping or anything like that, till the 90s. And I started going on some river trips, and then in 1999 was my very first backpacking trip, and that was Porcupine Mountain, and such a steep learning curve. I was prepared for everything other than carrying that backpack. It was like I had an axe, I saw a chair, a tent, a hammock, everything.
How heavy was that pack, do you think?
It was about 70 pounds.
Oh, geez.
5,000.
Right?
Yeah, as long as it fit in the pack, I thought I was good. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. You were prepared for everything except
carrying it.
Waking up with a sore back in the morning.
Right.
Oh
so
my
then you're at the Porcupine Mountains and you're like, I love this, or I'm done.
No, I loved it. The following year was the first time that I backpacked on North Manitou Island. Okay. And I've been, so that was 2000, and I've been there probably 30 sometimes now.
Yeah.
That is so great. That's awesome.
And lots of other places too.
Yeah, that's not the only place we got.
I know. And then Stacie, what about you growing up?
I was very outdoorsy, loved to hang out outside, play outside, but I did not have a camping family. I had friends in high school who camped, and of course we combined that with a lot of fun high school activities. And so we used that as our opportunity to get out and explore the world just by ourselves. But it wasn't until after I met Vince in 2014 that I started really doing outdoor adventuring, because I'd always loved hiking, but I did not know anybody who knew how to backpack. And so one of our missions with our educational initiative, 2 Weeks in a Hammock, is to get regular people out into nature to realize that you just need to learn a couple really basic skills and you can do a lot of stuff. And sometimes it just takes knowing people who are doing it. But the beauty is that I came into it at a time when Vince and his friends had already made just about every mistake possible. So I got to benefit.
Yeah.
So I got to benefit from their experience. So it was great.
Which is perfect, right? Yep. Anytime you meet someone who's, seasoned, right? I mean, I feel like that's incredible. And then you just mentioned 2 Weeks in a Hammock, which is who you two are.
Yep, 2 weeks.
And first of all, I love your logo.
Oh, thanks.
I love your logo. I just think it's simple. I just think it says what it is. I love it. And I think, did your daughter design it?
My daughter did design it, and she's a graphic design artist, and she, bless her heart, did that for us, and she prints all our business cards and does our graphics for us.
It's really good. And then you have a big online presence, so you have a beautiful webpage, right? Which you just mentioned about all the few things you can see, the trips and destinations and the how-tos, and I am not the best person with a computer, and it is so easy to navigate. Thank you for that.
Well, I have to give
she did it all.
I have to give a shout out to Lance Beaudry of Avalanche Creative of Grand Rapids. He taught a class on how to do web design, and so back in 2020 in COVID, when I joined the Great Resignation and quit my job because that is not how I wanted to spend my one precious life.
Right on.
I learned how he offered up free beta testing on this new online course he taught web design, and so I did it, and I was able to go through all the steps. And he's fantastic. Avalanche Creative of Grand Rapids.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So kudos to you guys for sure. And then on your website, and I kind of want to talk about this first because I think people need to go and obviously search that out. Are you guys organizing trips through that with people with that education portion of it, or
no? We are not.
Yet, no.
We are not trip leaders, right?
We're not guides, yeah.
Right, we're not guides. What we've done has been limited to public presentations. We've got different informational videos on how to pack your kayak for a trip, how to pack your backpack, just some really basic stuff. And we also have done camper orientation for the national park on North Manitou. So we have not actually led people on trips. We do go on group trips with our friends, and we usually just let them plan the trip and we kind of go along.
Yeah, for the most part, we don't even tell people about the trip until after the trip's over.
Yeah.
That's not terrible. Right. That is really, really good. You guys have done some really nice trips together, and how do you choose where you're going to go? What does that look like?
Oh gosh.
Well, annually we do, we like to do 2-week trips because we really feel like it takes that long, well, for me anyway, to just really decompress and to really enjoy and have that experience of being away. And so we prefer 2-week trips. We like to do the North Manitou trip at least once a year for a full 2 weeks, but then we go back a couple of times during the summer for different volunteer projects.
What's your favorite time of the year to go do that?
We're gonna do that in May. Before the trees leaf out, the trilliums will be in bloom, and it's still a little cool. So we love that trip in May. We like to look for historic roads and farm sites on the island, so it's really easy to see things. So we enjoy that.
And I really like being there before it gets crowded with everybody. With all the busy season is Memorial Day through Labor Day, so I like to get out there before that.
Yeah, and we typically do a river camping trip with a group of friends from Alpena and Ludington, and we do some other routine, like we do a winter camping trip every year in Ludington, and a fall camping trip in Neguagon over near Alpena. So we've got some annual trips that we usually do, and then we intersperse that with some larger trips, like we did Boundary Waters and Isle Royale a couple of years ago.
I'm just going to say that we've done a lot of similar trips like you guys have, which is super cool.
I definitely want to get on the Boundary Waters.
So, and then what? Uh-oh.
It's like, I totally forgot about that.
What's going on?
We forgot about that 1 week in June.
Oh, we do. We do have some time in June.
Anyways, on with the show.
My gosh. So Isle Royale, right? So that was
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
Right?
That was a dream come true. Back in my undergrad work at Michigan State, I had the opportunity to learn about the wolf moose study on Isle Royale, and I have been following that as a fan for decades. So it was great to go there and and be there in person. We were there in 2018, the year that they were down to like 2.5 wolves that year.
Oh my gosh.
But now they've, of course, brought on somewhere like 15 to 18 wolves, I think, right now. So they're building up that population again. So we're eager to go back and experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they brought in these packs out.
Who was telling us that?
The dude that's been there like 35 times.
I can't remember who it was. Someone just recently said that though. Yeah. And I mean, they're thriving. Like, it's crazy.
So when the year before we went, the spring count, or the year, I should say, the year we went.
Of the year
we went. In spring count, they had over 1,900 moose, and they had 14 wolves, which were separated, and they had 2 sets of pups.
Yeah.
When we got to that, which was in September, they identified a 3rd set of pups. So from spring count this year, from last year, or winter count. Anyways, they're over 30.
I don't know. I think it was like less than 30, but it was like, it's crazy.
With all the pups. Yeah. And which is fantastic. So we're really excited to see how that impacts the island, because it's the longest running predator prey study in the world, I think. I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity to learn about.
How did you guys get there?
We took the Queen 4 from
Copper Harbor. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we got to enjoy the full experience of being out on Lake Superior.
I bet you did.
How was the weather coming across?
It was
awesome. I took a nap, pretty much slept the whole way.
Oh, geez.
Oh my God.
You know what? And the thing is you can take Dramamine, but nothing prepares you for that when everyone around you is using the bags. So I stood out on the back of the boat and just looked at the fog for 4 hours.
Gosh, that's crazy. So
I stayed inside, far away from anybody that was having any trouble.
I bet. Oh my God. You guys were there for 2 weeks though, right?
10 nights. 10 nights.
10 nights.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then what was your route? Like, where did you end up going?
Oh gosh. Well, what we thought we were going to do was like go all over the place. Well, we got there, and it turned out the first night we went from Rock Harbor.
Yep.
Along the Rock Harbor pathway.
Rock Harbor Trail. We thought we were going to get all the way to Daisy Farm, but
by the time we got to 3 miles away, we said, no, we're done.
We're done.
So we stayed there one night, and then the next day we went to Daisy Farm.
Okay.
We stayed there 2 nights, and then from there we went up to Chicken Bone, West Chicken Bone, and we stayed there 3 nights.
Yeah, and whatever the harbor is, just northwest Chicken Bone. We kind of went on the edge of the Minong Trail and checked out like the historic
Mosky Basin.
Mosky Basin?
No.
The
Starts with an M. Why can't I think of what it's called?
Not Mosky Basin. It's the one on the north side.
Yeah,
I know.
But yeah, so we went there and we kind of went up on the Minong a little bit.
McCargo.
Yeah. Okay.
So like McCargo.
Oh my gosh! Talk about brain farts.
Why can't we think of what that thing is called?
Because we're not looking.
The dive boat came in there. I almost jumped
it
off.
It starts with an M too.
Yeah, it was exciting because there was. What? McCargo.
McCargo Cove.
What?
McCargo Cove.
McCargo.
I think that's it. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, but it was so amazing because you'd hike out on these trails where you're just on a board. Right, like over the water, over like a swampy water area.
Oh gosh,
we get partway out, and like the board's broken, and so you just look at it and go, okay, now what? And so we were able to like kind of hop across
the whole time. I'm yelling, 6 feet, Stacie, 6 feet.
Because I was like too close to him, and we were like, we probably should put our weight on the board at the same time.
Like, no, don't share the same board, Stacie. I do the same thing. I'm like, get off my board.
That's right.
Wow, bossy.
I'm not bossy. I just don't want you on the same board as me. You can have catapult or something, right?
Yeah, it's like I step on it, she goes boing.
Well, what a beautiful trip though. That was a dream come true to go there, and we've got that one on our repeat list. We're gonna head back out
I
there
bet.
sometime.
Well,
next couple
when we
years.
went, we had just a little snack at Daisy Farms. We
Mhm.
built into two gents. One guy who's been there 35 times, and the other gentleman was been there 13 times.
Like, it's crazy how people have just become so enamored with the park, right?
And,
like, it's incredible.
And the fact
I love
that the gentleman there was 35 times, he's seen 24 moose.
They're like crazy amount.
And 8 wolves of all those trips.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know, right?
I know. I'm thinking we know a guy. Was his name Dogger by any chance?
No.
There's one of our winter camping friends ends up in other people's videos and things like that because he's always there.
Oh my God, that is so funny. And then, I mean, Michigan, you guys obviously are from Michigan.
Yeah.
And we are so lucky, like, to be surrounded by so much incredible stuff, right? And not even just now, like, you know, the spring and the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some pretty awesome stuff to do, like in the wintertime too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like this.
You know, and I think what happens is that
ice?
Oh yeah, put the ice up there. Like, this is something that we've never been to.
It's great.
It's on our list.
We were hoping to get up there this year, but never.
We did that trip. I am scared to death of snow, getting snowed in or getting trapped on a snowy road. And so we took a trip to the UP, and it was a couple years ago. This is the Even Ice Caves.
Right.
And this was fantastic. This was the trip where we realized we needed to buy micro spikes for our boots.
Yeah.
Did you have any?
We didn't have any. No.
Oh, gosh.
That'll be fine.
So that's really slippery. But another thing that we did on this trip was we went to Kitchitakippi, the big spring.
At winter time?
Oh yeah, it's never freezes.
Oh, right.
That was
amazing.
Gorgeous. And we went there in the winter and you can look down, it goes down, I don't know, 20, 30 feet, and you can see the fish down there, and it's clear water. And it's just this beautiful spring. It's like looking into the soul of the universe. It's just amazing experience.
You can't go swimming in it either.
Right.
Nope.
We've never been there either.
Oh yeah. And so going in the winter when it was surrounded by snow, it was extra dramatic, and there were very few people there. So it was just fantastic.
That's awesome. So to get there, did you guys have to snowshoe in at all, or was the path pretty good? Or
for the Even Ice Caves, it was like
it was
like a mile and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
it wasn't very far.
But there's a lot of people who go, and so it's pretty. It's a pretty well established path.
Yeah.
But it was definitely, you want spikes for your shoes. But it was just
cool.
It was just gorgeous. But the Kitchitakippi, the big spring, the parking lot's like right next to it. And it's like I think it's state park managed kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So it was easy. But you got to watch out so you don't get stuck in the parking lot. Vince,
We want to make this next winter. We want to make a trip part of that, and then go up to Winter Ice Fest in Munising, where they have
that'd be so cool
where
to
they
try
do the ice climbing.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be cool to see?
So I was up there not too long ago, and I was talking to locals. They had over 1,600 climbers.
Yeah, there was a lot. It was nuts.
During that week, he said it was off the hook.
Yeah, there's definitely some amazing things to see up there in the winter.
There is. But I mean, there's still like gorgeous stuff down here, though, right? Like you guys are
still way cooler up there.
It is way cool. It is way cooler.
It is.
You guys canoe, right?
Yep.
And it's this is another place that is on our list to go to. And we were thinking of it actually maybe for June. Is it the Ensemble?
Yes.
The
Yes, that's the Ensemble River.
It is a very easy river to.
Very beautiful, very peaceful.
Lots of campgrounds along the way. I mean, it's a perfect river for a camping trip.
Okay.
You can there's easy distances to do each day. You can do like between 3 and 6 hours, depending on how you map it out. There's beautiful stuff to see. It's just really relaxing river to be on.
Yeah, so, this put in here. This is at Burton's Landing, just outside of Grayling. And from there, you can go for 2 or 3 days. I mean, depending on how slow you want to go and how much beer you want to drink.
Yeah.
And there's campgrounds along the way. You can just pull off in state forest campgrounds.
And there's enough water sources that you don't necessarily have to filter water. Like the campgrounds have pumps, so it's easy rustic camping, but
very relaxing, very enjoyable.
You can easily drink a beverage on this river. That's how we gauge how hard a river is, whether or not you have to pay attention and paddle.
Right.
It's been a nice relaxing.
I like that.
You put the paddle in once every 5 minutes just to keep it kind of straight.
Yeah, and we like fast, challenging technical rivers too, but it's just there's a difference. It's a different day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy steering. I don't enjoy motoring ahead.
Given it kind of thing, for sure. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we've gone on a week-long canoe trip, and on a canoe trip, your portage, we have our huge packs. Like kayaks aren't huge. How are you packing your kayaks?
Well, that's the best secret.
That's the beauty of it. So before I met Vince, he used to just use other people's canoes on these trips. And when you've got a big open canoe, your friends will say, hey, can I stick my cooler in there? I see you got room. But when you've got a kayak, nobody knows how much room you have. Right. So you can squirrel things away in the bulkheads on the ends, and people assume it's full. So you don't have to carry other people's stuff, which is a bonus. And it is pretty easy to pack. My first lesson in kayak camping was to balance the weight out, because I had everything in the back, and it was very hard to track straight. I had to paddle more when I came to obstacles because I was kind of turning because of the weight in the back.
Right. Yeah.
So you had to adjust everything a little bit. Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah. So it's just a little different.
Yeah, but as a backpacker, I know how to not overpack, so I can easily get all my stuff into the kayak.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we saw when we went to the Boundary Waters. That's a place for canoes, and people definitely love to fill their canoes and do multiple trip portages and bring all sorts of stuff. So it's tempting when you have a big open canoe. You think I could fit, kind of like when the first year when Vince overpacked his backpack. You're like, I got space, I can put all this stuff in there. But then you get to the portage. But when we went to the Boundary Waters, we were determined that we were going to do a one-trip portage. And so we cut down everything we brought. We got everything fit into, we did just the essentials, got everything fit into just Vince's backpack. And we looked at each other and said, are we forgetting things? This can't be right.
Yeah.
But
we had everything we needed.
Everything we needed.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So we pack really light. When we do a 2-week camping trip, we pack all of our food in our backpack. And
if we were to do Boundary Waters, I'd probably pack more.
I don't know.
Because portages are short.
So how many?
Don't.
They're way shorter than
they are. What's your? I mean, a lot of them are. But what was the longest rods that you did? Do you remember?
2.5 miles, or no, 2 miles? Less than 2 miles? Over a mile. But it was hilly, steep,
steep. Not easy terrain.
Rocky.
Yeah. Really? I've never been. I've just known. I was looking at a couple routes, and it's like, oh man, that's only like a couple hundred there, a few hundred there. That's nothing.
But no,
I must have been looking at an easy route.
I don't know what you were looking at.
And the maps rate some of the portages, with the difficulty rating. And I'm like, well, that looks like a really short one. Why is that rated so bad? It can't be that bad. Yeah, and then we get on it and this is why it's bad.
Exactly.
But it's definitely, it's worth it. The worst thing that happens is you have to make more than one trip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or we do a 1.5. That's what we tend to do.
Yeah.
Well,
depending.
It turns like a triple.
Right. So we just have recreational kind of kayaks. Mm-hmm. And do you think that is good for the ensemble? Or
heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's our kayaks are.
Mine's a 10.5 foot. Wilderness Systems Aspire. It's wide. It's stable. It's not.
It's got a skeg.
Yeah, it's got a skeg. It's not.
Okay.
It's not a sleek lake kayak at all.
Right.
Sit on top.
I have a Hurricane Santee 126, and it's also a wreck. It's a wreck boat. And if we were to do, we've not done kayaking on the big lakes. We would need sea kayaks and a class. So we're very much proponents of You need to have the right boat for the right situation. And always wear your flotation device, because you never know when you're going to fall.
100%. We are totally the same. Absolutely. Yeah. So the Ensembles on the list. I think I need to read it.
It's a great one. It's a really relaxing. It's just a gem. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the Pure Marquette River when we were over by Henry's Landing.
Okay. Yeah, we'll look into it more for sure.
Yeah.
And then we have to talk North Manitou. And I'm gonna just, before you guys even get started, wait.
I have to interject.
Oh, why?
Before we start that conversation, what's the big difference between North and South Manitou?
Oh, okay. Well, North Manitou is a wilderness preserve.
So they both have wilderness on them as portion of it.
Yeah. Portion of it. On North Manitou Island, there is one campground right by the dock. But nobody camps there unless you really have to, like your final night. The rest of the island, there's nothing. There's no campgrounds, no outhouses, no. So you just go out and you camp in the wilderness, and you just find a spot.
So it's dispersed camping. So that's
the whole thing is dispersed camping.
That's great, and it's no day trips. It's people who are out backcountry camping. So
South is exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
You have to camp at one of the 3 designated campgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I heard South has more ticks too, don't they?
What's that?
South Manitou has more ticks.
No, I think they're probably about the same. And we get as many tick, if not more tick experiences on the mainland. So it's not it's no different than anywhere else in Michigan right now. But you do want to be careful with the ticks, because they do carry disease, and so wherever you are,
right.
Yeah.
So, and you on your website, you guys have like you mentioned in the beginning, you have a guide to visiting North Manitou, right? Yep. Yeah. So have you seen an influx of people visiting North Manitou? Like, if it's dispersed camping, is it like jam packed with people?
Well, there's about
the boat is jam packed getting over there.
Yeah, well, the boat stops at both islands. The island typically has about 4,000 visitors a year throughout the summer season, and we've seen there's definitely been an increase in visitorship since Good Morning America had that competition back in 2012, where Sleeping Bear Dunes was designated the most beautiful place in America. Mm-hmm. So the whole area got more tourism since then, and still kind of has that. During the last couple of years during COVID, there's been an increased interest in getting out. You probably have seen that in your area as well. What we have noticed the difference in since we published that video is that people recognize us on the island, which is hilarious.
Wow, celebrity.
So you get on the island and you have to go through an orientation. They talk about here's the rules, safety things, and all that. But after they let you go, you may pass a couple people on the trail.
Yeah.
But you don't see them. You don't see them.
If you go,
now there is one spot that a lot of people go directly across the island to the West Beach,
right?
And a lot of people all camp in that one spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like a little city there on the holidays.
And we don't camp.
But the rest of the island, you can. Gosh, we've had our own private Lake Michigan beach, even in the middle of the summer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I am shocked at that.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing. And the campers, a lot of people do end up congregating in a couple of main spots. So it's pretty easy to avoid other people entirely.
Mm-hmm. That is really good.
Nice.
We
got a picture here of North Manitou here.
Excited for this. So
yeah.
Is this looking over?
Yeah, this is on the west side of the island, and that's a very steep bluff. And this was a couple of years ago when the water was really high, and you can see the bluff had gotten really eroded. That year. So, yeah, this is on the main loop trail. This looks like Frederickson's place.
That's Frederickson's.
Yeah.
Yep, and
it was historically an old homestead. That's one of the things that I'm particularly interested in with historic preservation is the history of the island. There's a lot of the map that you get has got a lot of information, like a lot of names on it. And so I learned about the places and who those people were. There's a fantastic memoir that was written by Rita Hedra Rusco, North Manitou Island from Sunrise to Sunset. And I read that book before I ever visited the island. So when I went there for the first time, it was like stepping into a book I'd read. And it was the most magical.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it was wonderful.
That's really cool. I mean, yeah, to be able to, it's like pages out of Jules Verne.
Well, is it like picture rocks, like where there's like, you know how there's the old car on pictured rocks and there's, you know, stuff like that. Like, are there like relics?
There are some artifacts. There's a couple places with some old cars.
There's old homesteads that still have downed buildings. And the thing is that most people that visit the island will do like the figure 8 loop, and they don't really venture off and find all the things.
Okay.
And we kind of, you know, it's been kind of like a scavenger hunt over the years, really finding the old roads, finding the old home sites.
Wow.
Where there's old buildings, there's artifacts still sitting there. And we got way deep into the woods, into what was an old homestead that we were looking for, the Anderson homestead, way down by Old Baldy. And we knew we had arrived when we were deep in the forest and we found an apple tree. And it's like, this was a homestead. And then we looked around and we found artifacts. And so we have a really good time like exploring.
Pieces of
it'd be a fun thing to go dive into the history and see what was established at what year. And then it's like, all right, game on, let's go find it.
Like, seriously?
Exactly. Yes. And so we have a lot of fun doing that. So there's a lot of the stuff that we found we won't like necessarily publicly share, but we've had people ask us like, where do I find this? Or where's this on the map? And we'll give them like clues, because that's how we learned too. There's a couple of old islanders that have given us tips on where to find things. One of the famous retired ranger Dave Hooper has been our mentor in telling us like just a little bit of like scavenger hunt tips. Well, when you get there, you see this.
There used to be this surveyor's tower up on the north end, and you know, give us clues like what to look for,
what you might find when you get there.
And then we finally found it.
Crazy.
Cool.
So it says park history is really wonderful, and it's so true. And how quickly does it become a passion? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's addictive. It's kind of like geocaching history. Like you know, historical things is what you're looking for, not anything anybody intentionally left.
And some of it, I mean, you know this because you camp. Camping itself is addictive. You always think, what can I do better next time? How can I pack a little differently? How can I, you know, what different gear can I try? So there's that element of it. But with North Manitou Island, there is a commonly believed idea that the spirit of the Manitou gets inside you and invites you back, and you become like, you have to come back. You feel compelled to come back. Like the spirit of the Manitou.
I know, right?
Yes. Absolutely true.
It really is a comfortable place. I've been taking camping there with my friends and their kids since they were like 4 years old.
It's a very family friendly.
And you know, what did your son initially call me? Your extreme camper boyfriend?
Yeah, when we
first started dating.
You have been labeled, Vince. I like that.
I'm like, it's not extreme. I spent a lot of time learning how to be really comfortable and easy.
That's right on.
That's right. Which is why we hammock camp. Have you guys ever tried hammock camping?
Someone won't let us.
That is not true. Okay, wait a minute. I do have hammock camping on the list, but wait a minute.
Getting ahead of ourselves.
Backtrack a minute. Hang on, who go first?
Me first. So, back to the reporting of your findings, stuff like that on the island. Is there a National History Society that keeps information about the Isle? That sort of thing?
The Leelanau Historical Society and Preserve Historic Sleeping Bear. The National Park Service also has stuff. Right now, I'm working on doing oral history recordings with some of the islanders who've been out there over time. I've got the first one released with a gal who is 97, who grew up on the island, and I'm going to be doing more of that. And those records are going to be archived with the different entities here. But the Leelanau Historical Society has a really excellent website with searchable archives, and you can see old pictures of the island. And they have a lot of information about that as well. And on my on my website, I have a resource page with all the public books on North Manitou that I'm aware of, so you can see what the different
that's so great
documents are. Yeah.
That's cool. So, but do you share? I mean, you're like, when you guys do search for like these old homesteads and stuff like that, do you share any of that with the society?
Yeah, well, we're definitely working with the Park Service. We're going out when we go out on this volunteering opportunity. We're going to be doing photo documenting of the historic buildings for the park. So we're definitely in constant communication with the park on what we're finding and working with the maintenance and island manager out there. So yeah,
very cool.
All right, awesome.
One quick question. Well, I got more than that, but anyways, how long is the boat ride? How long is the boat ride to the island?
Oh,
it's about an hour.
Like an hour. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a lot closer.
I thought it would be a lot closer too. I'm a little shocked at the hour.
It's about 11 miles, and it's a old.
But we went out there. We went out there during COVID 2020 when I quit my job, and I was like, "We need to go to the island. We need to go to the island." And so that year, the ferry wasn't running. A combination of factors: COVID plus the dock didn't get dredged out because of COVID, so it was buried in sand. So we chartered a private boat, and that was 25 minutes, but that was a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like either flying to Isle Royale or the boat, right? Exactly.
Yeah, there's options, but it's not a bad boat ride. It's like they've got a bar and snacks, and they play music, and it's easy.
Not the 30-minute one, doesn't.
No, not the 30-minute one. It's kind of like it's kind of similar to taking the ferry to Mackinac Island and so.
Okay.
Yeah, so you take the regular boat. They've got like the what do they call it, the best Long Island.
The best Bloody Mary on Lake Michigan.
Yeah, stuff like that.
So they, the family.
He's like,
what boat ride is this?
This is the Manitou Island Transit. Big shout out to them. They are the Grosvenor family has been for 5 generations. They have been boat service to the Manitou Islands way before the Park Service. So they are still the same family. When we read historic accounts, they're the heroes in the story that can get the boat through. They're really cool people. We love our Manitou Island Transit.
I know. We're booking the trip right now. So
I love Bloody Mary.
When we were doing like research and everything, and not that I try to put everybody together, but just what we know about you and all the trips you've done and all your passion for history, you guys are like 100% like ambassadors of like nature. You're ambassadors of the outdoors, and it's such a nice, I just got goosebumps saying that because you guys are such a nice vehicle for information sharing,
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you've also taken that, a couple steps further.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you have volunteered, right? As well. So tell us about that.
That was a dream come true to wear the I cannot tell you how excited. You can see my big dopey smile. I was just absolutely thrilled to be doing that. Yes, we volunteer with the Park Service, and we actually became junior rangers that year. Which is something usually for children, but
turn the other light on.
Yeah, turn the other light on. It's getting a little dark in here. But yeah, so we are so we volunteer annually with the Park Service, and that's that's really near and dear to our hearts. We also, when we're on the mainland, we are part of the Bark Ranger program. We take our Siberian Husky out on the beaches to that's better, thank you. To help with the communicating about dog regulations in the park.
Oh, right. What? Hello.
There we go. Yeah, that's better. It got like the sun is setting. But the park, there is a endangered species, the piping plover, in the Sleeping Bear Dunes area, and so the Bark Ranger program is a way of teaching people about dog safety. So there we go. You got
Bark Ranger.
We love the puppies.
Yeah, so he's a volunteer too.
Yeah.
So
okay, hold on. I gotta derail this one. How did he get his name?
Incus. Well, my son named him, and he named him after Uncas in Last of the Mohicans. So it's kind of an iteration of that. So Incus.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So did Incas have to have any training to become a bark ranger?
He just has to be well behaved, which mostly works. Yeah. He loves attention. He thinks his name is beautiful because that's what people say to him when we're out walking him. So, and he almost has like his feelings hurt if people don't talk to him and tell him he's beautiful.
Oh my God.
So, yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah.
I thought I'd show you what Tangent just said here. He just said that this is the perfect episode for National Park. I love that. Good job, Tangent. I agree. It's a good little segue to get everybody out and enjoying that.
Absolutely.
If we were to go to North Manitou, or anybody coming to Michigan wants to go to North Manitou, how do you even get there? Like you have to go up to Leland?
You go to Leland. That's where the ferry goes to the island from. I mean, people can take private boats out there as well. So if you have your own boat, you can go out there.
Well, you can't leave it at the dock.
You can't leave it at the dock for more than I think maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But South Manitou has a harbor, so you can relatively safely moor there. I mean, people do put down anchor around North Manitou also, but it's just not as protected of a harbor.
Got it. Okay.
But if you want to go there, definitely make your boat reservations well in advance.
Yeah, because they do sell out.
The camping permits are no problem. You get them, when you get to Leland, but the reservations are limited.
Yeah. Okay. So I was going to say that. Do they say? Let's say.
Well, how many? Any idea how many is allowed on the boat?
Yeah. How many?
180.
Something like
that.
Wow. Yeah.
So they do have a limit on that. But they go out there twice a day. So if you plan in advance, you can get out there. Right now they need to dredge the dock again. So I think they haven't sold tickets for early June because of that. They're kind of waiting for that work to get done. But yeah, that's the best way to get there. And they're they're a concessionaire in the national park now. So they're the only vendor who offers that service. Other than if you took like a private boat.
Right. Got it. And Vince, you said that you're like a navigator.
Yeah.
Like, are you like looking at the sun and this is west or?
Well, sometimes. Yeah. No, I've actually North Manitou Island is a great place to practice navigating by compass. If you want to say, you see a spot on the map, I want to get there, but I don't want to take the trails. Let me just try to bushwhack straight through the woods. That's a great place to practice and see. Like the first time I went to Old Baldy, which is the sand dune on the south side of North Manitou Island. I tried to go straight there, and I totally missed this, enormous mountain on the island,
the backside of the dune.
So I learned how to get better at navigating, just using the compass and being accurate,
reading topo. And when I first met
map reading.
When I first met Vince, he was in the process of making his own maps of the old historic roads on the island. So
that is cool.
He's been tracking and it was like his mission before he met me to find all of the old roads, because there used to be logged and there used to be farming communities out there. So, and a lot of that the Park Service has been intentionally trying to let nature take back over in that wilderness area. And the wilderness is really the way it's managed in the federal standards. So it's been really fun to explore and look for old roads. But he has found just about every old road out there. Yep. So.
Yeah, so I've been around with a GPS track logger and actually recording exactly where the roads are. Sometimes the maps, I think the road went this way. Well, now I can track exactly where it is and make my own maps.
Right. One of the things we're going to look for when we're out there in May is an old road from the late 1800s that went from one side of the island to the other.
Yeah, wish us luck.
Yeah. We know part of it goes through a swamp, but we've been talking to some of the islanders who've been out there for decades, and they've kind of given us some pointers of where to look. And so that's one of the things we like to do.
Okay.
Well, but yeah, so Vince has been making maps of those out there, and
and Stacie's always like maps also.
Yeah. And yes.
How many people live on the Isle year round?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah.
There are two privately owned pieces of land. One is owned by, when I say private, I mean not owned by the Park Service. One is the Leland School District.
Leland School District has property. And the other is another has one of the families, one of the original families still owns their homestead. But people used to live out there year round, and they don't now. I mean, since the Park Service took over, they negotiated the purchase of the island in the late 70s, early 80s, and 1983-84 was around the season when they had to switch over and started to open it for camping and for hunting, and started to manage the land there.
Okay. So the navigation that I was kind of curious about is, so a lot of the big trails have their maps are on like all trails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And they're
is North Manitou on all trails too?
I think it is. Yeah, we use.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
We
sure
use it is like the main loop is on all trails. And we use BACKCOUNTRY Navigator when we're out. That's our software program of choice.
Got it.
Out on our phones.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Very
the main trails are also on the USGS topo map, and they hand you a map of the main trails when you get there.
Yeah.
And they're well signed. They're maintained, and they've got signposts at the intersections.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a no-brainer then.
Well, we have a question here. So
Okay.
Stephanie Longwell.
Who's Stephanie? Is that your sister?
That's my sister. Hi, Stephanie.
You want to know it, or-
That's a great question. No dogs allowed.
Oh.
There are coyote on the island, and there's chipmunks. There's no bears. There's a lot of deer.
A lot of deer.
The deer were intentionally planted out there in the 1920s. So because it was at one point meant to be a private hunting preserve, and it was managed that way for decades. So there's still quite a lot of deer there. But yeah, dogs are not allowed unless it's a service animal. The park has rules for accessibility that they are required to follow.
Well, that's a bummer.
I know, but it's good to know. I mean, you don't want to show up and plan and then obviously not be allowed to do that.
Right.
So, and then another one of the things, I mean, you're a DIY guy, right?
Yes. I like to make a lot of the gear that I have. I've made myself.
The hammock, the tarp.
Like straight up sewing machine, like you got this stuff. Get out of here.
Yeah. When I first met, there's your winter hammock.
Yes.
when I first met him,
Leave it.
he was we go to this event in the winter, and all the guys sit around the fire and talk about their sewing machines, and we're talking about making gear, and it was the funniest.
Him too.
They're not sewing machines, they're thread injectors.
Thread injectors.
Thread injectors. It sounds more fancy when you say that. Oh,
this is actually, so this is our winter setup. The hammocks are both made out of tablecloths. And
they're 13 feet long by 7.5 feet wide tablecloths, polyester tablecloths.
Right. But normally, and what you see on the outside of the white one is an underground quilt, underground quilt company, and that's some friends of ours. So shout out to them. They're in
Paul and Missy
and Jackson, Michigan.
Jackson.
Oh, that's like UGQ.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
We have a couple.
We have a couple quilts.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what the white one is. So in the summertime, Vince and I share the white hammock, and we're both in it together. But in the winter, we're too bundled up, and I like to have an electric blanket. So because we're at a state forest campground and there's a plug.
Boy,
okay, I might be able to hammock camp like that.
No, no.
Yeah, but we've got but on our website on our YouTube channel, there's a tour of Vince's summer setup, which he's got it's a camouflage tarp, and it has a bug net sewn around it. And it basically, he's built a little screen house that we hang our hammocks in, which is really great.
Okay.
And he made and what is that made out of? The bug net?
It's tulle, like you use in a wedding dress. It's
like tulle, yeah.
Yeah. It's like
black,
it's not terribly durable, but it's very cheap and it's very lightweight.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm impressed. And this is Ludington State Park.
This is Ludington State Park.
We love Ludington.
Yeah. Yeah, you should come out in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to come out and see a whole bunch of it's the winter hang.
Oh, it's the winter hang. I think it looks just great.
It sounds like the frozen butt hang they have in Wisconsin.
Well, it's kind of.
Yes.
You know, that is really cool. So do you love stuff like this? Like, getting together with other people and challenges and whatever?
Cool.
Fun. Yeah, in this particular, the winter hang, people get together and they tell stories about all the trips they did last year, and they talk about what they're planning for the next year and sit around the bonfire for 48 hours drinking. It's very summery in a way.
Yeah, like I said, it's similar.
That's exactly right.
Spot on.
I love it. One thing that we love about obviously being in Michigan is that we have so many miles of the North Country Trail. We love it.
Yes.
Right? And we said, I was like chipping away at it slowly.
Yeah.
And you guys do the challenge every year, right?
We do. We haven't done it this year because we've moved away. When we were in Battle Creek, it was within a mile of our house.
Oh, geez.
And so,
it was easy.
It was easy. We were out there all the time. It's been since we've moved and we've been in transition moving. It's been harder to get to. Yeah. I think the closest. The Manistee River Trail is about 15 minutes away from us. That's the closest we are to.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to think about that. Huh.
Yeah.
Very cool. I know. I just love it. Have you ever heard of the American Perimeter Trail?
No. What's the American Perimeter Trail?
No.
So it's a trail that totally circumnavigates the United States.
It's 14,000 miles, but it utilizes the North Country Trail as well.
Okay. As part of that.
So it's going to see a lot more traffic and get a lot more like stewardship and everything and more.
Look it up online. Rue, he's the actual hiker. He's on trail right now.
Okay.
It's so cool.
Documenting some
it's
certain
really
sections.
neat.
We got to meet him. He was here in just outside of Grand Rapids earlier this year.
He was in Lowell because they were doing a dedication for a shelter.
A shelter.
Okay. A shelter on the trail. So it was really exciting.
And they actually moved the NCT trail.
Yes, I know, to accommodate where the shelter was. Like, how amazing is that?
They moved it.
I'm glad that you love that.
It wasn't super. It wasn't a super big amount, but enough to where it would encompass, like I said, going past the hostel.
Right.
Okay. So in a very, very much smaller version of that, I now work for the Leelanau Conservancy in Leelanau County, and this year we're doing a 35-mile challenge because we've been in existence for 35 years. And so we're inviting people to get out onto the 20 properties of the Conservancy and hike them and record their miles and get a patch, just like the North Country Trail.
Oh, no way!
And it's incredibly beautiful area. So so we moved up here from downstate, from the Battle Creek area, to basically follow my dream job and be closer to our national park. And so
that is just amazing.
I love it. I love it.
I know.
So when does this take place?
All year.
Yeah, all year.
Challenge,
yeah. All year.
So 35 miles. That's what, 3-4 days.
That's nothing.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly, exactly. I know one of my colleagues at work is going to do the whole challenge on his mountain bike at our mountain biking area in one day. That's his goal.
So fun fact: I have never been up there in my 6 years. I know.
There's a lot of
it's on the. I know. Anyway, but I mean, can you hike? Because I know there are a lot of like wineries up there.
Yes, there
are.
Yeah. Okay, so 45
crawl.
Well, 45 North Vineyard and Winery has got 3 miles of trails on their property, so you can hike and have wine at the same time.
Checking those 3 miles off already, honey.
So yeah, we were
do it 12 times and you got your
done. Exactly.
That's not part of the Conservancy challenge, but if you want to hike and go to a winery, that's the place.
So is it strictly on the Leelanau Peninsula? It's not over on. Is there anything over on Old Mission?
No, because Old Mission is part of the Grand Traverse Regional Land Conservancy, and that's a multi-county area. But the Leelanau Conservancy is just Leelanau County, and it's and the mission is to protect the scenic beauty and natural resources in Leelanau County.
Okay, I love that. So I want to also touch on again about us being backcountry couple, you being a backcountry couple, everybody watches and hangs out, and everybody, where they're, the backcountry people, leave no trace is a huge deal.
Huge deal.
A lot of, I'm going to say 80% of the people think they know what it is. I'm going to say 80% of people don't know what leave no trace is.
Right.
You're right.
Right. And Stacie, you are a trainer.
Yeah, that was one of the things.
So
yeah,
please.
Yes, that was one of the things I did during COVID, is I wanted to expand my backcountry knowledge. We were finding in the Battle Creek area on our local trails, on our North Country Trail through Battle Creek, we saw a lot of people who wanted to be out in nature during COVID. So many people were desperate to get out, the positive healing effects, the psychologically healing experience of being out in nature. It was such a beautiful thing. But people didn't know how to do it right. They were leaving trash behind. And I really got interested in how can we further this conversation and invite others into our natural spaces in a way that, kind of teaches them how to come join us here and how to be better stewards of the land. And leave no trace is, people think it's pack it in, pack it out. That's just one element of it.
Agreed.
It also includes planning ahead. Like, for example, if you don't bring your dog poo bag, you're not going to be able to pick up your dog poo and take it home with you. Or if you don't plan ahead and you need to be rescued from an area because you misestimated the distance or your abilities, having a chopper come in and get you can harm the natural environment and upset the wildlife. So those are all impacts. And so understanding how to safely have a campfire with minimal impact, how to be courteous of others on the trail. As far as not blasting your music or keeping your dog under control, there's just a lot of different elements to it that are really best practices. And it's about continuous improvement, continuous learning. Yeah. It's not about perfection. It's about always trying to be better and to do better and to be considerate of others and to think about how we're impacting the natural world. Yeah, and the best part about it is that it's really a gateway to overall environmentalism. If you're thinking about how to best protect our public lands while you're out visiting them, you're going to think about that when you're back at home too. You're going to think about recycling, taking care of things, being courteous to others. So it's really a great way. It's a good philosophy for living, and it's just a really important part. And now the Leelanau Conservancy, we're now partners with Leave No Trace as well.
That's amazing.
They've got a lot of fantastic information. If you look at their website, their YouTube channel for Leave No Trace, just the videos on how to use the bathroom out in the backcountry alone, all very, very practical tips. This is exactly what you should do. This is how to take it. This is what to do with it next. So they're very big on education.
It's one of your most popular videos.
It is. So on our YouTube channel, the video with the most views is one I did on the peace style.
Yeah. Right. It's so
female urinary tool, which is a game changer.
Right. Here you go. Exactly. So like John was saying earlier, we're heading down to Indiana, right? To a big meetup, whatever. Do you yourself, Stacie, go and do chats for big groups and stuff like that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we've done public presentations. Okay. We've done yes, we've done public talks. We've got our videos. I'm actually doing getting zoomed into a oral history meeting this Saturday with the Michigan Oral History Association.
Okay.
They saw the work I was doing and invited me to come speak about that.
Congrats.
Yeah. So I do love getting out and talking to people and speaking about what we're passionate about. So it's always great to be able to do that. And one of the most popular of all the talks that we've done on backcountry stuff, one of the most popular ones has been our talk on adventuring over 50 for beginners.
Yes.
And talking about people who are, because so many people get to a certain age where their kids are grown and they want to get out. They're still, spry enough to get out there. And so it's very much about how to approach getting out in nature. And so we did this whole talk, and it's on our YouTube channel also.
Yeah.
And it's just very practical ideas for how to get out in nature and what to do and how to meet other people that are doing the same thing. How to encourage your partner to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, without a doubt. There's something magical about that.
Oh yeah.
There is. And I feel very strongly that access to public spaces in our national parks or in our local conservancies or local parks is really an issue of social justice. That people need to be able to access nature. We need to have parks. We need to have open spaces because it's so important for our psychological health, our physical well-being, and just to be able to have places where we can go, have access to Lake Michigan, to have public beaches, and to have that law that says that everyone is able to walk the shores on Lake Michigan within the high water mark. I mean, that is so important for us as the public to be able to do that.
I love your passion. I just love it. Just so good. Thank you for sharing. What's happening now? Like, what is next for you two for 2023? What trips are happening?
Well, big one in May.
We're going to Manitou Island.
Manitou Island.
2 weeks.
Yep. And then we'll be doing another river trip with our friends later this summer. Don't know where or what yet, but that's kind of how it comes together. Let's see what else. Oh, we're going to Mackinac Island in September. My son gets married, so yay!
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah,
so beautiful there.
Yeah. But we've also we're going to be doing more volunteering with the park, doing more of those oral histories. And we'll be doing our typical fall trip to Magwagon. And there's also another hammock hang down in Hastings at
Yankee Springs.
Oh, yeah, we like that part too.
Yeah. So we typically do
Hammock Hang and Chili Festival.
Yes. And that's like in October. Hammock Forums is the perfect.
Party crash.
I know, right? Yeah. We know where you're going to be now. I like that.
Yeah, if you go to hammockforums.net, right? Okay. They've got all these different conversations going where people are organizing trips, and like the frozen back hang is on that.
They love it.
We just have to get her.
I'm gonna borrow someone's hammock, and I'm gonna like a good hammock, and I'm gonna try it.
She sits in one.
You know, I'm gonna try it. I got it.
Had to get her to sleep in one.
It's a lot. Okay, so a lot of people think
I am too old to lay on the ground anymore. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Way more comfortable in a hammock. So we've got one of our presentations is on hammocks 101, and so it's like basic information on how to think about it, how to get started. But it's a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. Yep. Anything you can do in a tent, you can do in a hammock.
Miyagi and Trips have been trying to get her butt in a hammock forever.
I promise.
But next year, I'm not old enough. I'm not a big girl yet. I heard every excuse.
I love excuses. It's fine. I'm excited. You guys are amazing. And like I said, you are 100% ambassadors of nature and the outdoors. And it's very encouraging. And we're so happy we got to meet you and Mark.
Yeah. Great to meet you. And we got to get together and
100%. We are the same people. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, we had the same selfie picture at the symposium.
Yeah, we both did the same. Like, hey.
Okay, so I totally. When you did that, I turned to Vince and I said, "I'm going to do that later."
Yeah,
I will take that as a compliment.
Yeah,
I totally stole your idea.
Good for you. Whatever, you guys were awesome.
Yeah, I'm Johnny. I'm Colleen. But wait, let's take it to
You have been so awesome, and thanks for getting out of the wealth of information. We're very, very excited.
Oh yeah.
Is all their stuff in the thing? How can everybody find you? So tell us where.
weeksinAhammock.com is the easiest. That's our hub for everything. It's got
there. You can find everything else.
Yeah, you can find our YouTube, our TikTok, our LinkedIn. We're everywhere. So
I love
Instagram, our Facebook. So we're all over.
Okay, get it in there. Everybody, please definitely go check out Vince and Stacie. And I feel like you have such an amazing. You did the how-tos, a lot of information stuff in regards to planning trips.
We're not on LinkedIn.
And we're not on LinkedIn. And I feel like it's great. So excited for that. Oh, what is that?
That's me not signed in.
I love it. Oh, and there we go. Tish is a great couple tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so much fun for talking to you tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we've loved it.
Go on for hours.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? So don't go.
Trust me.
Right on. Don't go away. John's gonna drop you down. All right.
I am not done.
Okay. Are you still got it? He's still going. Okay, good. And then what about when you kayak? Where does Incus go?
We don't
He
take
stays home.
we don't take him. He's too
He's
big.
not a water dog. Okay.
He's too big.
He's 75 pounds,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's too big to fit in the boat. He'd
I
fit in
know,
the
I
canoe,
know.
but he'd probably tip us over. So
Okay.
yeah. So unfortunately, he's not a water dog, and he cries about it when he gets wet. So.
I bet.
Oh my gosh!
I
what
know,
a
right?
wimp.
But he's
Yeah.
a good hiker, though, right?
Yeah.
He
He's
loves
a big
hikes.
hiker.
Yeah.
Does he
Yep.
carry his own pack if you go like?
No.
Oh, good question.
No. Okay. Yeah, I always love
He
that.
probably would.
He probably would.
He probably. I mean, that's a bit of a training aspect
Yeah.
too, right?
We've never asked him to.
Yeah.
So.
Because he's busy being a park ranger.
Oh,
He's a little businessman, so
Yeah.
great.
Awesome.
He's the poster boy for Bark.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I love it.
So I put all your social media that
perfect.
we're part of. I'm sorry, we're not part of LinkedIn. and
Oh,
stuff.
got it. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I did put your website. I also put in the Leave No Trace website
Oh,
as well.
perfect.
great. Yeah.
That's the right one. int.org, right?
LNT.
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 Yeah,
Leave
yeah.
no trace. LNT.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's a little L, not
It's
a
a little. That's right.
Yeah. And their YouTube channel is fantastic.
Okay.
Got
That's
a lot of great
excited
information.
for that. Beautiful. Wonderful. Look at
Awesome.
that. Well, thanks again for hanging
Well, thank
out.
you.
Yeah, the hour goes fast, and
It's been
Yeah.
a
it's over an hour.
Yeah, and thanks to my sister for watching. Hi, Stephanie.
Bye.
It was funny.
So much. So stick around.
Okay, sit tight. We're
Yeah,
gonna drop you
no
down.
worries.
We'll do a little outro.
All right.
All right.
I have a good idea. I can't say anything yet, but I have a really good idea.
Why?
I can't say anything yet.
Why?
but because my brain just works that way. I know. Stay tuned for that. Anyways, enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Yeah, her brain's working.
I know. This was really dude. Anyway.
She had to look at the TV.
I
at
did.
this
I mean, what's he
monitor.
doing, right? We can't thank Vince and Stacie enough.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
that was super fun.
There's a lot of knowledge.
A lot of knowledge, a lot of excitement, a lot of passion, and I love
We got
that.
an island to go visit.
Oh my God,
I'm
more on the
thirsty.
list.
I need a Bloody Mary.
I know the Bloody Mary boat. Come on, like get out of here. This
Hey.
is crazy.
Setting the bar.
I know, right? So everybody have a beautiful weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will
And
see you next week. Same bat channel, same
Yes.
bat time.
Yes. Everybody enjoy, and
Y'all be safe out there, whether it be rain, shine, who knows?
it's
It
gonna
might-
be raining where we're going, but it's
probably
okay.
gonna snow.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much, and have a great weekend. Make sure you check out 2 Weeks in a Hammock. Vince and Stacie, they're fabulous.
Oh, but wait.
Wait, there's more. What?
Yes. Don't forget, next week, Monday,
Yes.
we're on Super Good Camping's
Yes,
podcast
yes.
and YouTube.
Yes,
It drops on
exactly.
Monday.
A lot of giggles going on
when
there.
it drops, we will share it all
Yeah,
out.
for sure. Awesome. See you guys, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, until then, we'll see you all on the next quest.
Yeah, you will.
Peace out, Cub
Cheers,
Scouts.
guys.